What is going on, people? Today we're gonna go over some of the new gear that's coming out, as well as the new monster. And I say new monster, but this monster has actually been in the game and I've seen it before in different things, but I guess is now going to be officially a monster that you hunt and get items from, etc, etc. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the event equipment, and this is it right here. Serpent Gladiator set. Now, of course, you usually have like your free-to-play item, which would be this one, the Desert Trousers. Then you have the kind of mid-level one, which is the coiled armband, which is an accessory. Actually, it's not the greatest. Like, it's okay, but it's infantry range. It's a whole infantry range set, and that means that we already have cups, so that will always be better than this. But as a mid-tier item, it's not too bad. It's definitely not too bad. And then, of course, you have the two higher end items. Now, I don't really understand what IGG is doing. I'm a little confused, right? Because with this new update, and even with previous updates, we're getting a lot of items like this, right? Like, good enough to be comparable to Champion, but not good enough to be better than Champion. And then you have this new research that's coming out that's just going to be separating the gap further between the big titans that have everything maxed out and the mid rally leads, like myself, for instance. I can't compete with those, but I can still say that I'm fairly strong. So who are these items for exactly? Like, getting these items is not going to make any sort of difference, especially if you're already building Champion. And not to mention, these items, they each cost 15 of the rare items to get. 15! Like, this is one of the things that I'm really not understanding. Like, why are they so expensive? Not only is the pack going to be nowhere near as good as, say, Rising Champion, for instance. So, with the Champion items being better and now even cheaper, what is the point of making these new items? Like, it's exciting to have a new item in the game, but what's the point? You know, I don't get it. But let's go ahead and take a look at these items compared to what they would be going up against, right? So the helmet, let me go ahead and filter it by, I don't know, infantry attack. All right, so let's go over to the end. So let's take a look at the helmet compared to just Champion, right? And remember, from gold to mythic is just I believe it's a 40% increase in stats out of all the stats. So looking at gold is going to be the same as looking at mythic, because it's just a 40% increase. So if you take a look at the Serpent Helm, it's got 30% infantry attack, 30% range attack. Not bad. The army stat though is defense, which is the lowest of any of the stats. And then it's got a decent infantry max HP. So it's a good item. But when you compare it to the Champion Visor is going to have 35, 35, and then also the 10% calf, because it's got the army attack, right? And then it's got army max HP 20%. So the Champion helmet is going to be better regardless. And not only that, it costs 7 gold mains. This one again costs 15 of this ultra rare. So what is the incentive of going for this one here? I don't understand the thinking. And even if you compare the Serpent helmet to a helmet that's been out for years now, the Beast helm, they're very comparable, except the only difference is that the Beast helm has calf stats instead of range. So that's really it. So you got infantry attack 30, cavalry attack 25. This one has 30 and 30, so it has a 5% attack better than the Beast helm. But here's where it makes a difference. Army max HP 15, where this one only has infantry HP. So you know, you can make the case that Serpent Helm is slightly better than the Beast Helm, but they're neck and neck. And again, you're not going to see anybody in the top tiers wearing a Beast Helm to compete with any of the big guys, right? So the Serpent Helm, while okay and giving you a more variety of infantry ranged, the cost just doesn't make sense. 15. If this was like 8, 10, I could see it being like, okay, cool. But you remember, not only do you have to get 15 at gold, you'll have to get another 15 at mythic. And these packs, like the $5, $20, $50, $100, it's not going to scale accordingly. So you're going to get less and less every time, which I don't understand it. But let's go ahead and take a look at the offhand, right? Venom Blade. You got 25, 25, and then 10% Army Max HP, which that's kind of good. But again, if you take a look at the champion, you're getting 30 and 35. You don't get the HP, but when you take a look at the difference in attack, it's made up. It's made up in the attack. So again, the champion equivalent is gonna be better. And you know, you have the eerie lamp already, which is probably gonna give you the same for infantry. And for range, we have the what's it called? Let me go over to the range. We have this Eternal Codex. So it's like, where, like, what are you making this for? Especially if you're gonna go for 15. So I don't know. I don't really know exactly who these sets are really tailored for. All of these sets really, because everything, all the level 60 items are super expensive, and I can make the case that champion is not only cheaper to get, but also better. So I can't really say that I would recommend building any of this. The only time I would ever see this making any sense is if you're going to go on a lot of monster buses and hoping for the items to drop. But even then, man, you're gonna take forever to try and get any of these items to any decent level. So I don't know what the plan is here. Now as far as the monster goes, here it is. It's the Serpent Gladiator. Like I said, he's been in a couple of things before, and high physical defense. I really don't think that you're gonna probably be looking at the same teams that you would use, like the magic users. So you'll probably see Petit Devil, Incinerator, Elementalist, Storm Fox, you know, stuff like that. Dream Witch. You're probably gonna see the same type of teams. So that's why I was saying, like, for monsters, it would be kind of like a breath of fresh air if for some monster there was a hero that dealt extra damage. That way it would always should be included. That way it would change up some teams, because monster hunting has become kind of like the same teams over and over, no variety. So I don't know, it's kind of to spice things up. So at the end of the day, you're probably going to be using the same thing, magic, and yeah, there's really not much else to talk about, because these items are good. It's not a case of the item not being good, because they are. And if you were to tell me, hey, would you want one of those gold, mythic, etc., yes, I would. But when you actually then take a look at the stats that you're given compared to the cost, it's not even going to be close. Let me see if I can actually see the pack and what it looks like. Let me take a look. It's probably all the way at the bottom, huh? Let me see. Oh, it's not even out. I don't know why. Maybe it's because my castle is super low level. But either way, these packs, like what the monster specific packs, none of them are worth it. None of them are worth it. And I don't know. I can't really say that I would recommend making any of these items. They're great, but compared to the cost, 15 of the rare items for each of the level 60s, that's a bit. Nah, I'm not a fan. So I know some people are excited. I'm excited for the update, but I thought that I was gonna be okay with about 22,000 tomes. I'm hearing that it's closer to 80,000. I mean, all that's really doing is separating, like I mentioned earlier, it's just separating the top class at 311Ks, full mythic champion gear, full stages, etc. It's just gonna separate them even more from your decent leads, but not maxed. And yeah, I don't know. It seems like more of a Wonder Battle specific update to make that gap even wider. So I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna, you know, this pack actually is probably going to become a must for a while. This massive discount, because it comes out pretty much every day, if not every other day. So you can probably average about 1,000 tomes maybe even more if you get Let's Celebrate a week. So you're talking about 4,000 to 5,000 tomes a month. So yeah, we'll see what happens once the update actually does drop and everything is in the main server. But new monster, new gear set, new research, stuff to work on, but nothing that I'm like super excited about. So I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about the update and what you are gonna be working on, and also what you think about this new sets, because they've been pretty consistent. It's a lot of good items that are not as good as Champ, but probably more expensive than Champ, which doesn't make any sense. But either way, appreciate you guys for tuning in, and until later.